More now on King Charles's cancer diagnosis with royal author and journalist Phil Dampier, who has an intricate knowledge of the King's previous health ailments. Phil, thank you very much. Look, it's great to join you, although under obviously quite testing circumstances for our dear King. How will the monarch be tackling this latest hurdle? What are you hearing?
Yeah, good evening, Patrick. First thing to say, obviously, is to wish the King a speedy recovery. I'm sure we all do that. I mean, it's very worrying, this, isn't it? Just 17 months into his reign. I mean, I was told about 10 years ago, in fact, that his biggest fear, that then Prince Charles, was that he would actually die before his mother and never become king. Well, fortunately, of course, that never happened. But all the same, it is extremely worrying. I mean, everyone's saying today how fit he is, and he is fit. He eats very well. He's still very slim. He can fit in military uniforms that he had 50 years ago. But he's actually had quite a history of medical things. I mean, I don't know if I've got time to go through it all, to be honest.
Well, please try, yeah.
Well, when he was 8, he had his tonsils out. When he was 12, he had a burst appendix. That was actually hushed up a bit, I think. That was quite serious. Of course, he's had several accidents involving polo. He fell off his horse and broke his arm famously in the 1990s. And I remember actually in Australia interviewing Sarah Key, a physiotherapist, who was telling us how she massaged his back. He's always suffered with back problems, and leapt into a pool with it to help him with his physio recovery from his broken arm. A few years ago, he started getting chest pain. He thought he was having a heart attack. He went on, I think that was 2009. In fact, it was something to do with his gallbladder. He's had keyhole surgery on his knees. He's fallen off his horse while he's been out. I mean, the list doesn't go on, actually. So he has had his fair of, you see that scar on his face, but that was another polo injury. He got whacked with a polo stick. And he does have this very red face. I mean, I'm told that sometimes he goes into friends' houses and he's actually smashed a window because he gets so hot at night that he wants to have fresh air. And I think that drives Camilla bonkers sometimes when he wants to have the windows open, and she would like to have the central heating on. But he's got his problems, but hopefully he's going to get over this one. They've caught it early.
Well, indeed. And look, how do you think the royal family will actually be handling this at the moment? Because, obviously we don't want to preempt anything. I'm certainly not wanting to get ahead of the game here or anything like that. But, is this maybe a sign that actually William could be picking up more of the royal duties? How likely do you think it is that we will end up in a situation where King Charles, maybe, dare I say it, for whatever reason, steps to one side and allows William to come through and maybe have longer in post?
We may remember a couple of weeks ago the Queen of Denmark abdicated and King Frederick came to the throne. And I actually tweeted, I said, I didn't think I would rule that out for King Charles. A lot of people said, oh, you're talking rubbish. He's going to live till he's 95 like his mother. It would never happen. He would never abdicate. I'm not so sure. If he does have a serious illness, if Camilla became ill, for example, in it's only 5 years' time, he'll be 80. I think it might not be a bad idea for him to hand on to William so that he can, look after himself, enjoy some sort of retirement, and William and Kate can take over, who, let's be honest, are this more glamorous couple. Now, I don't say that is what's going to happen, but I wouldn't completely rule it out. And certainly the fact that William is coming back to work, I would say early, he said he was going to be sort of ducking out of jobs for a while to look after Kate. He's going to be back in action in the next couple of days. And I think that's an indication of how serious this all is, because it's all very, very much resting now on William and Kate's shoulders. And we hope Kate's going to get better soon. Yeah,
well, I mean, that's another massive issue, isn't it? Kate herself has not been well. It looks like there's going to be quite a long recovery there. What do you make of Prince Harry coming back home? Although it does look like he's coming back home without Meghan and without the kids.
I don't think he'll bring Meghan. I don't think he'll bring the kids at this particular occasion. It is an opportunity to mend some fences. Whether William will meet him or not, I have my doubts. I don't think he will. I think that probably be the last thing he wants at the moment when he's looking after Kate. I don't think he'd be particularly welcome there, which is a massive shame. But you never know. It might bring them together. But certainly I think this is hopefully the first step of a reconciliation between Harry and his father.
Yeah. Does it not maybe indicate that it is actually pretty serious, the fact that Harry is coming home? I mean, I would have thought the coronation was quite serious, and Harry barely came home for that.
Yeah, I think it is serious, but we all know that relationships are very bad. But I think when it comes to health and you think your father's life might almost be in danger and that he is seriously ill, that is on a different level. And I mean, Harry must have been reflecting on all this in the last few months. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt for a change. I mean, I'm not his greatest fan, as you know, but you know, at the end of the day, he is his son. He still loves his son. Let's hope this can be the first step.
How do you think King Charles will actually be dealing with this? I mean, this is a massive shocker for anybody. It's dreaded. Unfortunately, well, the way things are, the law of averages or statistics, or however you want to phrase it, do mean that for the vast majority of us, we will at some point get a cancer diagnosis. Certainly, somebody within our family or our close circle of friends will also get a cancer diagnosis. But it is an absolute dread for people to hear those words, isn't it? As a person, how do you think King Charles will be dealing with this now? As
a person, you've noticed that. No, I think it's very good that he's been open about it. You know, I think it sets a good example. It might help other people who are going through a similar sort of thing. I think he's going to cope with it by trying to carry on. He's going to carry on with his work. He's still going to speak to the Prime Minister on a weekly basis. He's still going to be getting those boxes and signing all the official documents. Where it might have a major effect later in the year is I think he was obviously going to go to Canada. He was obviously going to go to Australia, New Zealand. That could be put on the back burner, and that is a shame, because obviously all those countries where he's still head of state were looking forward to seeing him and Camilla, and they were due to go to the Commonwealth Heads of Government conference in Samoa, but that's later in the year. But if he makes a good recovery, that might still be on. That could be a major problem. But apart from that, I think he'll just try and carry on as much as he can.
Brilliant. Look, thank you very, very much, Phil. Always a pleasure to have you on. That is royal author and journalist Phil Dampier, just running us through some of the King's previous health issues there, wishing him well and having a look ahead as well as to the potential for reconciliation when Prince Harry touches back down in Britain soon.